Well, hello, everybody. This is a great Wednesday night. We are here in the Dallas area, getting ready to do some Teagues taking. We're very excited that you're here. Thank you if you are listening to the Bama Standard and you are on that channel. We appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Love everything that happens over there. Also, those of you who are on our channel, we love the opportunity to be able to multi-stream in multiple places. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Both channels. Hit the likes, get in the chat, do all the things that are going to make it a great show for us. So today's lineup, what do we have? We got uh we need to talk a little bit about the college playoff rankings. Not a whole lot about that. Then we got to do some film review of the LSU Bama game. There's some good and some bad in that. We'll take a quick commercial break and then we'll come back and watch some film of Mercer and let you guys know exactly what you will be seeing there. So it should be a great, interesting show. But we got a lot of film. So without further ado, we need to get this thing going. Teague Steak starts right now. Yes, sir. We're back. We're back. If you, I wonder, do they flip the screen or anything like that happen, JT? If I like say, would it just be accurate if I say I'm on the top,
Yeah, no, you're
James Teague
yes.
is on the bottom?
Yeah, no, that's
It's just something
you
that we
what you
got going
see
on.
is what they see.
Okay. Well, I'm George Teague. He's James Teague. Yes, we are related. Uh, I think we got a little love for each other, that kind of stuff. This father son combination has been going on for a while. Someone was talking about that a little earlier today, and for whatever reason, they thought we had just started a podcast, and I was like, "Nah, we've been doing this for some time, man. I think we're 4 years strong into this thing.
Well, this is your
This is
5.
season 5, so yeah, we've completed
Well, is it? I mean, we started in 2020. Whatever.
July.
It well, I have it marked as season 5 for these overlays. So, we're going with that.
That's what I got too. So anyway, we've been doing it a long time. We appreciate everybody who's hung with us, who's hanging around, who's staying in because we've uh, progressed, moved, changed all different formats, and now we've kind of settled, and we think this is our niche here. So if you like what you see, again, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Tell people about us, and send them on over our way to Teague's Take right here on YouTube. Roll Tide to everybody. We do appreciate you for coming in. So, JT, I need to ask you real quick because we got so much film that I want to be able to show today about these college playoff rankings again. So, I know we kind of gave our opinion on where we thought we were supposed to be last week. Did you happen to take a glance at it and see if there's anything that kind of stood up for you, or you think it's just all kind of just going to play out the right way
I think it's going to
in
play
the
out fine.
end?
It usually does. But look, I'll take a first round matchup against Indiana. Um, I think that is super favorable. Um, I don't know that is a home game, but
It
still,
would be on the road. What the way they were, I read it is that we'd have to go to
yeah. But
Indiana.
it's
You worried
Indiana.
about, but are you worried about elements? It's a little different. You going up, it would be
It'll be cold.
December.
Yeah. No,
It's,
I'm not worried
it's
about it.
different, man. It's different now. You done played up in the cold too, man. If you're a warm team, I know it ain't like super cold in Alabama, but or super hot at that time in Alabama. But going up into snowy.
Yeah, well, it might not even be snowing, but I mean, like, they got 31 transfers, and most of them from James Madison. Like, I think we can beat James Madison.
Mhm.
So, yeah, it'll be cold and whatnot. But of all of the teams that are in that bracket, it's like, yeah, give me the Hoosiers or Notre Dame.
Okay, so have you thought about anything? And I think I'm okay too, but I do know it's hard to play in the cold, and you could get because you can't really practice for it
Mhm.
anyway. But do you think? And I see someone might be kind of chiming in on this. Is uh, the SEC championship? Because you could actually get in. Do you think we're going to have to really look at should those people automatically get in? Is it worth part B, the B to that is could it be a chance that you don't even want to be in the SEC championship because you can get in, maybe lose, and then get knocked out of the playoffs? The way there's so many tiebreak scenarios we potentially could have right now, it could be detrimental. You think?
So that kind of hits at Josh's question here: is does the loser of the SEC championship game miss the playoffs? Um, I think in most cases the answer is no, because what you then have to convince me of, if I'm the committee, is that the quote unquote second place team is not among the next 7 best, right? Because you're going to have 5 automatic qualifiers: SEC champion, Big 12 champion, Pac 12 champion, or ACC, SEC, ACC, Big 12, Big 10, and then the group of 5. And then you have to convince me that the next 7 that are not those, the runner up in the SEC is worse than all 7.
But you're going to have, and this is where the debate comes. I agree with you. I'm just saying it always going to come down to the SMUs, whoever, the Boise States, the people that are right
Yeah, but
behind
Boise
us.
State's going to get in.
It's kind of, maybe.
As long as
But
they're the highest ranked G5 team, they're going to get in. And then,
somebody's going to be crying. So
well,
a
yeah, in
second
this
place,
case right now it
somebody
would
else.
be Georgia.
Yeah. So how
But
many do
but
you
Georgia
think get
wouldn't
in?
be the loser of the SEC championship game.
So how many do you think are going to get in from the SEC?
The winner,
4, 5, or
I think the winner, the runner up, and probably 2 at large.
okay? Are you willing to say who you think those are? So the predictors have Texas having the highest percentage of
Mm-hmm.
getting in, then Alabama,
Mm-hmm.
then Tennessee, then Georgia, then Ole Miss, which are all kind of high percentages. Then it kind of fell off to South Carolina, Missouri.
Yeah, I don't think those teams are making it. I think those 4 have got a pretty legitimate shot. I think I think the only way to me that the SEC runner up doesn't get in is if we have that dumb 8-way tie and LSU and Alabama have to play again and LSU loses a second time. I think I think that's probably the only scenario that the loser of the SEC championship game doesn't make the playoff.
Okay. So last one about this. So do you think Ole Miss is actually I don't know how you say it, first one out or whatever, the number 5 that doesn't make it? Or is it?
No, I think right now it's Georgia. Like, for real. I know that's how the rankings have it, but I think it might. It's a real possibility because they've got.
Well, they got Tennessee. Georgia plays Tennessee,
Yeah,
right?
but they're not going to play Tennessee with a starting quarterback because Nico's out, and the committee does kind of look at that. So, and if anybody in the chat doesn't believe me, look at Florida State last year.
That's true.
So you got that. I don't know. I guess it just depends on whether you feel like they handle business or not. But if they end up struggling with the backup quarterback out, probably not a great look.
Mm.
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of football to be played because I think BYU can probably still drop one. They probably should have dropped the one that they did. Miami should have lost one, and then they end up losing one.
They should have lost more than
I
one.
know, that's what I'm
They
saying.
just
Like
can't.
there's plenty of
They're
teams
not
out
that
there
good.
that are
That's
not.
why they're going to get in and get a bye week though. They win the ACC.
Well, have they played SMU yet?
No,
I
I
say
don't think they
wearing an
would. They would
SMU
only
shirt
match up
today.
to them. They would only match up with them in the title, right? I don't think they're on their schedule. I think they got some pretty light schedule from here on out.
Yeah,
Well, they've had pretty light the whole time.
we got a couple of people saying they think if Indiana loses, they'd be out, and they might be because Indiana doesn't really have any. They don't have any like marquee wins. They're just undefeated right now, and if they lose to Ohio State and they get beat up by Ohio State, not a great look, you know. And then that wouldn't even put them in the title game because you still got Penn State and
I
Oregon.
know.
So if Indiana loses, they might not make the title game, and then you're looking at, well, it's going to be Oregon and either Ohio State or Penn State, and all three of those may make it, and Indiana might just be they might be chopped liver after that.
So we still just gonna have two conferences playing.
Yeah, I mean,
Essentially. Four from ours, four from that one, then a couple of extras hanging out. But, yeah. Anyway, okay. Well, good conversation. I do think that's good. But all right, for what we want to do now is want to get into some of this LSU film. Um, while he's pulling this up, I do want to say for those of you who were in Mobile when I was down there, this is the exact same film. JT might have added a couple extra plays. I don't know.
mm-mm.
This is pretty much the same film. So if you were at the event that I was at on Monday night, you're not going to see anything different. Apologize for that, but I told you we normally put these out on Mondays. But because I had to travel, JT and I were not able to put the show out early, and I was talking to you about it while I was in Mobile. So the only new film you'll get to see is what you'll see after the break when we break down Mercer. All right. Well, let's get into this LSU film because I thought there's some really good stuff in there, JT, and some things that we can get better on. The whole talking points have been that, you know, how good do we really play? So I put some notes on the deal there. Those are really kind of for us. Some just so JT knows when I need to get to the front end and the back end. Um, and make sure I know what we're talking about on all these plays. Okay, so one of the things we were talking about is lining up on the line of scrimmage. Mug, we call this, right? Or a split defense with a lineman or out wide, and you got two backers split up in there. Now, JT, you can talk about the back half a little bit. I kind of put this as is this a two middle? What kind of coverage are we doing here? Is kind of so you want to play this one
Yeah.
first.
So I don't know if it's a two mid. It kind of looks like it. I see why you call it that. We have a tag to this out of quarters. This kind of looks like a quarters look that I would put together. Or you just got your mugged backers. But with him stepping up here, we could either call this a steal or a stab or whatever, just to kind of, or even a modified buzz, and then have this guy kind of overlap. He doesn't have to go this way though. I mean, he's playing a half. But there you go. There's kind of your look here of half, maybe half, and you've got a pole runner here.
Yeah, so I just thought it was the point was I just thought it was a pretty good disguise for someone trying to figure out what they're trying to do, and you got corners sitting. Yeah, you kind of got a guy down here kind of in the flat that's maybe outflanked our guys a little bit, but
Yeah, this is
what?
such a long throw though.
Yeah,
You have time.
yep, and they get pretty good pressure um, on him as well to make him get rid of the ball probably a little bit earlier. So the back end. So I want to talk about the twist over here on the left. First, I thought it was very good. The reason why I have their tackles, JT, why I'm pointing at them is because when we get to our offensive side, we want to talk about the technique that you have to use again when you are in pass sets. right? So they kind of keep their shoulders very square to the line, which is what you're trying to do, and not turning too early. Well, we were having some issues, at least on one side, turning our shoulders too fast, in my opinion. And that's how you can get beat underneath, or you can get bull rushed, or you can get. So as you can see, 50 and 68, they're very square to the line, right? Um, but our twists actually work pretty good, and that's kind of hard to do. JT probably can talk to that when if you're trying to get guys to know when they actually need to go underneath, um, or you become a free rusher.
Mm.
It's good timing. So good play, good play. Alrighty.
Yeah, so you've got not having an edge here, and essentially, I think what you're getting at here is now that he's kind of in here, and you've got a tight end,
Yep.
pretty easy just to seal, and then once you get a hat on hat, if these guys are doing a good job out here, um, your edge guy is on the opposite side of the ball, right?
Yep. This is exactly it. And you can see it here that they might get a good run. Then when you look at it from the back end, you can definitely
Oh
see the
well, then yeah.
buck
So
up.
then you think as you're kind of watching the clip here, you're like, all right, here he goes. There's your extra guy. Great. You know, you got 4 over 4, and then this happens,
Yeah. Then he runs over
and he's
another
gone.
side.
So those guys are taken care of. You seal this guy, and your linebackers in there, and
Yeah. We're always talking about how it's a numbers game and you're blocked. There's a lot of running room out there. Now they're coming, but they're good running backs too. They find creases and they go. It's just you're just kind of outnumbered a little bit. So there you go.
yeah, this is why you want to have that +1, right? You need to have. If you're not going to have a +1, somebody's got to win their one-on-one battle in the right spot. And when you don't,
It's a good look from the back end. I know we just showed it to you, but you can see him checking like, oh, we're running over there. So I drew that he actually gets reached by the tackle. Now, he gets a little bump from the tight end to go up, but we need to be a little bit stout there. Now
yep.
look at
And then
that.
there you go. There's the seal. There it is.
It is. You're gone. Now we ended up fixing that and getting it done and not getting into it anymore. Um, but the whole point is you just got to be lined up sound as well, or at least fight to get in your gap. Okay. So JT, I put this up here because one of the most favorite red zone routes out here are, and maybe you can kind of draw it up. Well, 1 and 2 are kind of they either run hitches or some kind of China route or go in to stop, and then the number 3 guy runs the corner route.
Oh,
Mm,
well, that too.
up
Yeah,
into the corner.
our offense likes to do this.
Right? Yes. So that is one
So because there's
heavy
so
one,
much grass out here.
particularly when you're man to man.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what I liked, and why I'm saying I'm continuing to give Womack some praise here, is that if you look at our slot DB, he's lined up over number 2. He actually goes out and plays man to man on number 1. Yeah, and then the other guy goes to 2, then another guy goes to 3, and the corner is sitting there waiting for the other corner out. I thought it was pretty genius. I figured you might want to try to steal this too because it's pretty. When you run it, you can see how they all just kind of switch. Now that's not the route,
Mm-hmm.
but essentially, I wish I would have known this concept here a little while ago, back when I was coaching, because I really kind of like this. They're all covered up, so
Yeah, so I guess what you're actually getting is the man here, and you're getting a bracket.
yep, yep, it's pretty good.
And you're not terribly worried about this matchup, even though that's a linebacker and that's one of their better receivers, just because there's not a lot of room. Like you can't he can't beat you on a go route. There's only 15 yards of space right here.
Yep. Yep. So, and
And
he's a
then when
good
he
cover
sits
guy.
down, yep.
Knocks it up. Hey, that's how you become MVP. When you're a linebacker and you're covering.
Yeah, this has to be some kind of film study too, right? I mean, you're anticipating um, routes that they're going to run down here in the red zone.
Mhm. That's huge. That's huge. All right. Let's see. Oh, let's head back in. I don't know what the play was. I got my draws up on the second part. Oh, I'm pretty sure I was giving some praise to our defensive lineman here. Might as well go to the back.
Well, the other thing is, ain't this the same play we just looked at just a second ago? Except now Bray Hubbard's in the middle of the field instead of standing right here.
Yeah, absolutely. That is true. Got a few more guys.
Yeah, so now you have that extra defender, right? And now he's walking over on the other side. Oh, there you go.
All right, so just talking about the technique. There's two different pieces, right, JT? So the one on the left side of the screen fights to stay in this gap and does a really, really damn good job. Okay, and I need for you to see that. And when you look at the one on the right, he's trying, but he actually ends up falling behind, going on the back side of the tackle, which leaves the crease. Right, so you may have to explain that a little bit better to me. He's fighting number 70, then he goes
Right. Okay.
behind.
There you go.
If he stays in the front side, the other defensive
So
tackle
what
makes
he's
a play.
talking about here is they're already lined up in the gap they're responsible for. So at any moment in the play, you want him to be inside of 65, in between 65 and 79, and you want him to be inside or in between of 70 and 50. What you don't want is for either one of these hats to be in between these two, or those two. And what ends up happening is as you run this, you can see how he's still in between these two and beats the block. He's where he's supposed to be right now, but then kind of
Stop.
loses ground a little bit, and he gets reached. Is what we mean by reached by number 70, allowing 50 to go up to the linebacker.
Yep, which is going to leave just that small little window for this running back to get through. So my
Right.
point was, it's just the little things. Yep. Now you got these guys running up on your safeties and stuff. It's
Right.
not a detrimental play. It's just a small thing where it could be a
Right, but
tackle for a loss.
it definitely could have been, right? Where in the last clip, if he is standing over here, this is another huge play because he's not right here able to come downhill. He's right here trying to chase.
That's correct. Great point. Great point. So, gap control, super important, and I do know that we were not doing those things as well earlier in the season. What's going on?
I'm just trying to fast forward, but
Okay, so we're talking about the good things, the little things again. First, I want you to see the one on the left. I think I remember this. The defensive end, JT. He fights not to get hooked or reached. Doesn't actually make the play, but he darn sure make sure he doesn't get reached like they used to. And the same thing with the linebacker. He's got a lineman coming up to get him, and he has to go over the
and he
guy.
makes it.
Yep, and he
And
does.
and it's kind of I don't know how well Chat's memory is here, but this is similar to Vanderbilt, where I'm not. I won't say about this guy because I don't remember. But our linebacker is in that same scenario where he needs to get over here, and he doesn't make it over the top. And there's a lane, and they're hitting it in here because our linebacker actually doesn't make it.
Yep. So he has to beat number 70. And then you can see our defensive end who actually runs out. But anyway, I know it's happening so fast. Maybe our guys aren't trained for that, but the guy, tries to crack back on our
Mhm.
defensive end and he whoops him. So it's pretty good stuff, man. Pretty good stuff. I see you, Monica. You in the house. You in the house.
And that's good too by your nickel.
Oh yes. Very good. I'm pretty sure this has a what I have. What I got on the back end. So it's something with these linemen again.
Oh, yeah. So this is I like this. Um because what you're doing right now is you're showing a okay. So first the strength is to the left because there's a tight end over here. So you run strengths to the left. So right now as you line up, you've got he's in a 9, that's fine. But he's in a 3.
Three.
This is a 2I and that's a 5. So we call this over because the 3 technique is over to the tight end. So this is an even front. This is a 4 down, 4-2 look. Even though we all know that he's a linebacker, it's got overrun fit or it's got even run fits. You've got a bubble, right? There's a B gap bubble right here. All those good things. And then pre-snap, you get this. So now you have a 0 and a 4I and a 4I. And this now have just gone from an even front or from an over front to a tight, or some of you might know this as mint. And this is odd. There are no bubbles. B gaps are closed. We're telling the offense if you're going to run the ball, it's got to go. You got to go around us now. And I like this because this changes the blocking scheme up front when they're trying to figure out who's going to
Pre-snap.
double who, pre-snap, yeah, all that kind of stuff. Who's the mic? That could change. The center now is not gonna be able to help in either direction. He's got a guy right over him. They need to figure out who's going to help the center, if anybody. And when you change late, it can help out. Not all the time, but it can.
So I put fantastic because we're talking about the reads when we're just talking about linebackers when they're going. If you watch this, I remember the play. You got some pullers that are going to go, and he just goes, no hesitation, and you see the end on the right, seal it, with a great block. This is great by Zero. He just JT talks about it all the time, just seeing window. I mean, he's
Yeah.
someone asked me at the meeting, what would he see? Well, he see the pullers going, and
Yeah. And actually, I just read this in a newsletter too, but I agreed with it. And this is the same thing that we're trying to teach our linebackers is when you get the pull from your guard, you want to run through the first open window past the center. That's the center. And here is your window. You want to just run right in there, which is exactly what he does.
Mhm.
You follow the pullers, you run through the first open hole, and looky there, you run right into the ball.
Yes,
Great play.
sir. So
Anytime you can run fit and it looks like you're blitzing, you're doing something right.
yeah, when you were talking about a chat remembering early on, we were talking about how slow they were or how they were reacting as fast as they should. So I think they're trusting the process and getting going a little bit more. All right. Okay. So I'll try to explain this. I thought this was good if you see it. So the circle, that's Bray, and the linebacker, I'm saying they are banjoing or they are both responsible for the tight end and the running back. We used to call this banjo. So if you're just looking at it and you're just on the outside, you're going, all right, the safety has a tight end and the linebacker has a running back. Well, it depends on which way they go. So I thought they executed this well. to where they just basically passed it off because the running back went to the flat, tight end came up the seam, Bray goes through, and he just about to light this dude up. Bam. Nice and easy because you're expecting your linebacker to have to chase him. Um, but it didn't work out that way. So that guy's good. We showed some grades on him last time on Bray, and
Mm-hmm.
I think he had another great game. Uh, he's going to get some NIL money. All right. I put 1992 on here because JT, they were basically up in the mug. They got all these guys up on the line of scrimmage. The only difference I see is that in 1992, we had the corners and the safeties pressed where they're actually playing off. So maybe they ain't got enough guts like we did to be able to run up there and and play straight man. But this is basically what we did, So it's the mug stuff, except we pressed and we're off. That was my only point that in our game we would have been all up in their face. So we let it run. They can go. Um, but you can drop guys out. You can do whatever you want. You see them, same thing. They got to figure out what's going on. I think we actually do drop a backer out of there to the
Yeah, because
top.
I mean the offense and the quarterback, the offensive line and the quarterback need to figure out. First thing you got to do is um, find a mic. Which five are these picking up, and are you going to keep the back in
Mhm.
so you can pick up six?
But
And
there's seven
then
up there.
right now, but then there's still seven. So then the quarterback has to know, okay, these five have whichever five they've identified. The back has one. I'm responsible for the seventh. Um, and that's why it's effective to drop people out because you don't know who's coming out. The guy that the quarterback thinks that is his hot read is still coming, but they're dropping people out into that window. Kind of, you never know. The thing I was going to add to this is this looks like it has one of our formational rules, formation blitz rules, essentially saying, if the back is not going to stay in and block, who has the back?
Deal.
Right. And what I like to tell these guys is, look, all of you guys need to get to the quarterback, but nobody gets out of the backfield. If you see somebody try to leave, you draw your box. If anybody tries to leave out of this box, you have to go get them. Now, high school, I just tell them just go tackle them. Probably can't do that here. That they probably call you for holding. But once you see this guy exit, we got to go with him and cover that up, and that's what Malachi does here. That makes it quite difficult, and because they're trying to run a screen here, now you also have a free guy coming downhill.
Yep. It's a great job by Malachi just going to forcing that guy to declare real quick. So I love it. You line up and showing it and let them try to figure out who's doing what. Um, so keep it up. Love the pressure. Sometimes I worry about them just showing it all the time, but
Oh.
all right. Oh yeah, I just needed to see the INT. So JT from this wide angle, um, I, trust me, this is a tremendous play. But sometimes as coaches, you're going, okay, um, glad you made it and all that kind of stuff because it's black back flares. I'm not totally certain, but I'm pretty sure that's probably his guy down there that's wide open.
Yeah,
But anyway,
probably.
yeah, you can't take away from it. But I'm sure hey, I'm glad you made the play. But that's probably his running back that's going out there. He kind of gets froze because of that guy that comes underneath.
Yeah, and I think he sees the quarterback's eyes right here too.
He trying to hit that dude. What are you talking about? But hell of a snag. And at first I was like, did he mean to put his knee down or did he just kind of catch it and fall down? I'm just glad it wasn't 1
At the
yard
one,
the other
yeah,
way. Yeah. That's a hell of a catch, though. That's awesome. Really, really good. Really good. So, okay. Is that all of them?
Yes. Offense.
All right. What I got?
Your notes here say back end, opposite high low, and flood.
Yeah, so
So
check this out here first on the wide. I don't know if you saw it. Tight end runs the drag. Number 3 runs the high, the coming in. Yes. But the slot runs the corner, and then you got a deep route or something like that. So you kind of got two different route concepts here. Kind of interesting.
yeah, and they're kind of blended together, right? Yeah, because you do have the flood concept, which flood for those flood can be run many different ways, right? So you can get, this, or you can have this with the back. The back can come out here, tight end, whatever. The idea of route concepts is not the routes in particular. It's the spots and the spacing. So all flood means is flood is a 3-man concept. One of those guys is going to be deep. One of those is going to be deep and outside, whether it's a corner or a deep out or a wheel, whatever. Doesn't matter. One guy's up here, another guy's right here, and another guy's going to end up short. And you're trying to stretch the defense vertically, typically to hit this middle route. So you can still get that flood concept, like you were saying. There's the corner, and the flat is coming from the backside, but you also have the high-low on the linebackers.
Love it.
You might call this drive concept, where you got somebody low running in front of the linebackers. You got somebody running behind the linebackers. So you're trying to put them in conflict as well as this dude. So it's kind of like you can pick your concept before, depending on what your read is and all that kind of stuff. You can look at this concept first and then the flood concept, because it's going to take them a while to get over there. But I think that's beautiful play design.
It is, and then you'll see what happens as it breaks down and how it ends up. But we'll talk about the concept as it goes here. I love how they start identifying, talking about it. I'm going to show you because they didn't pick up the blitz, but you can see the slot guys really what I'm trying to do. He actually ends up being deep corner, and that guy is your middle part of your flood, and then here comes the tight end to be the short part later.
Right. So these are kind of the landmarks that you're looking for here when you're looking for flood. One deep, one medium, one short, all outside. We are flooding this side of the field.
Yep. Okay. Now, why did he get out of there? JT, sometimes I think, this is the first offensive play. You all hype, crowd noise, and you watch our right guard. I think he just had a little too much spark, Celsius, something, because I have no idea where he's going, guys. Right?
Yeah, he gonna wait. He must have thought it was a run play.
Yeah, I don't know
because that's definitely not pass pro.
Yeah. Now, there's another reason why you're thankful you had the kind of quarterback you have. Bad snap, getting the ball, he's getting out of here. Okay, so that was one thing, and then what I wanted to point out was the tackle again. Again, is just how early do you turn your shoulders, because they start to bend this corner on you. Now, obviously, he doesn't get the sack, but I mean, he's beat.
Yeah, and this is the one. If you're just looking at these two in a vacuum, this is when you're saying, "Hey, Jalen, you gotta step up in the pocket," but ain't nowhere to step up this time. This is somebody yelling, "Watch out!"
Yep, I know. I was like, "Oh my gosh!" But he gets out of the pocket, he runs deep, he's fast, he can get around it, and then he hits your middle of your flood guy over the sideline. Whoop whoop, get you some. Okay, good work. Uh, what I got?
Back end, combo blocks, unique QB run tendency. So I think this is the touchdown here. And somebody had asked me, oh, maybe it's not. Never mind. This is not the touch. Oh, yes, it is. Somebody asked me, what did LSU do differently on defense that allowed Jalen to run for an ungodly amount of yards and 4 touchdowns?
He
That
didn't listen to our show last week.
that other teams were not doing. And I picked this play to show because I was like, because there's other people that are also like, hey, you just need to blitz more on all the time. And I've always been trying to defend myself on like this is like the quintessential play of like why you can't just blitz all the time. And we can talk about more of the ins and outs of what Alabama's doing offensively. But what I was trying to point out was this guy ends up going on a C gap blitz. He's going outside and around the tackle.
It's on the back end.
And your cutback, Jalen's going to go right here.
Right where he left from.
Right. And if you left him alone and just let him sit right here, you might make a tackle, but you blitzed him around the wall and the ball is going right in here. So you have to be careful. You can't just send guys because stuff ain't working.
Can't guess. Gotta play sound. So yeah, I think I drew up on this where you got some who has who by rule and the guy. So the center and the guard got post combo block up to 18, and then the guard and tackle post combo block up to 40. Tight end has the other end. But number 18 makes it easy because he just runs around to the left.
Yep.
So
he leaves. He blocks himself.
So remember where 18 is, and then Jalen finds exactly where he left from. And it's over after that. But we did talk about our tendencies. Someone asked me, how did we do? It's like, I felt like we were going to have some quarterback runs or some different runs. I didn't think it was necessarily going to be this one because they ran this type of play multiple times. But it was kind of cool to see how I exploited, the edge basically with Jalen. It's the same run. I didn't put anything on here. It's basically they don't have an edge.
Yeah, but you have this is also interesting because again, you're making defensively, you are making a huge concession here.
Running that corner over.
Yes, yep. I mean, cause this is exactly this. My first game as a defense coordinator, right? Doing stuff like this, and you're trying to roll safeties over the top, right? And as soon as you move that safety back, you're already like, yep, here comes speed option because that guy used to be standing right here and now he's back here. So, yeah, you do this. I guess they didn't want the corner on the tight end. They make a Connie call and move the corner over. And it's like, duh.
Yeah.
We seal this guy. And I'm going to try to make this dude miss. And oh boy, would you look at that?
It's pretty easy, one-on-one. It's not a killer, but it's enough to get the first down and keep the chain moving. And I don't know. Again, that was one of the tendencies that we showed. The backers are running, just going with the running back. They were very, very aggressive with that. Mm-hmm. I don't know if 40 went too fast or.
Yeah, well, I mean, we talked about that while I was at sponsor Black Friar on Saturday, and people asking me what was going on and what I thought, and I said, well, 40 is a good player, but he has a tendency to be in the wrong spot a lot.
Yep. This is a not so good play. Again, we got numbers, and I drew up what's supposed to happen. Those two receivers are supposed to block those two defenders, but it doesn't happen.
Yeah, but we don't block either one of them.
And miss. So, by no means do we have a perfect game. But that's kind of, oh gosh, you kind of get upset if you're running back. Okay. athletic lineman. You got to watch him the whole play, particularly on the back end. So he pretend like he's going right. So it looks like stretch or reverse or something. Then he whips back out of here, goes back the other direction, seals the defensive back, gets him. Woo! You might want to show it off. That is first of all, that is a big man. And so he's got to sell the run to make this guy go down inside. Then he
Yeah, and
whips
then
back
he
out.
gets the corner. Like this isn't a linebacker.
Mm-mm.
Oh, my bad. The
So
person that he is blocking is standing right here right now.
now you talk about play design, and you're talking about film study. What do we do all week? They knew this stuff was going to bump down, that he was going to
Uh,
chase the
did you hear Brian
receiver.
Kelly's interview after
Uh,
the
uh,
game when he was like, "Yeah, if you're watching the game, you're probably asking, what did these guys do for 2 weeks?"
that's right. So, I mean, this is coaching deal. Now that's athleticism, and you can just, I mean, I just, a lot of times you don't see that because you're just thinking of this running back, out here on the screen. But that move that was done by Proctor at how much does he weigh? Shoot, that's pretty
Enough.
good. Yeah, he didn't even have to shoot at the. Okay, speed kills is what it said. There's nothing fancy about this. We'll talk about the 17-year-old one more time. We miss him, but that good lord, JT. I mean, it's just being in the foot racing. You ain't even got
Yeah,
to.
and I don't. I mean, it's not like right on the money, but there is a. I should have pulled it. He was in a spot where it hit him in both arms. It's just torrential downpour and probably a little bit harder to hold on to,
Yeah,
but
maybe he
it's
puts a little bit more air on it or something. But I
it's a
mean,
catchable ball.
now he stood in there. I mean, golly, that's bad feeling, boy, when you chasing like that. On 14, see him just turn around because he supposed to be their best DB too. he probably like, God, who is this dude? Uh, okay,
Yeah,
he's special, man.
he's 14 is thanking all the football guys that that one didn't go for 6.
Mhm. All right, yeah, wet ball drill, AK, as you say. Uh, what I got here? All
Tackles.
right, the tackles. So I just wanted you to see the difference in their sets early where I had the arrows at. The guy on the left shoulders were square, and the guy on the right was already had opened up his gate a little bit. So I mean, we ended up being okay. It's just a matter of the little things of, now he has to step up. Uh, we missed the pass, but that it really wasn't
Yeah, I
important. It was
think
about the tackles.
in some respects, I think LSU is kind of lucky here that it was raining as bad as it was. Uh, Maybe not on the offensive side of the ball because they were having some problems throwing it too. But
I'm glad because that was supposed to be their strengths. So there you go. You can see them. All right. Oh, you could have moved on. It's just the
mm,
deep sets and uh okay, I only put this up there because it was unbalanced. Just reminding people on how much we run it. There's nothing big that happens during this
yeah,
play. It's just making sure you know who's ineligible, or they should know. Because you got a bunch of people out here and they don't know what's going on. Which I'm kind of interested to see how Mercer's going to line up to this. We'll show it in the film a little bit
we will,
later.
and I think I have kind of figured out their wing rules on what they're going to do with this guy. Um, I think they have some pretty big tendencies. Foreshadowing. Look at that. All right,
Yeah, that's right. All right.
a couple more plays here.
I just put it here as just another great coaching piece. This is a draw with he just following the running back on the outside. I don't know what they saw or what tendency. I do know what they saw because we talked about this. Go back. Let me see in the beginning. No, there wasn't even another guy in the box. They just knew that they were going to be because he runs out of there, the linebacker.
Mm-hmm. And you can actually draw different lines
Yes.
here, right? Him for him for him. And you might think here, but no, you don't actually need to do that. Um,
It's the running back that was actually
right.
going to look for him.
You can go here, and since you got the running back as a lead, there's your 4 for 4, and then you're now you're in the same situation that Alabama was on the first play we showed you, where you don't have enough people because he's going in here and this guy's on the other side of the field.
Yep. Well, and you see what the result is. See ya. I mean,
And then somebody might want to
yeah,
tackle this dude.
yeah. So I think it's just coaching, and watching a ton of film. Uh, I think this is 2 plays later. Is that what I put?
This is 2 plays later. Yes.
2 plays later. Looks like the same formation. He's trying not to creep out there, that running back, linebacker, but he runs out there anyway. So, before he kind of widened out a little bit, but now he's running blind because he think his
The
pass.
exact same play.
Yeah, exact same. This is literally 2 plays later. So that's great coaching, people in the box just going, hey,
Run it again.
See if they make an adjustment. Okay. I don't know how many more plays we got, but
This one and the next one.
okay. So oftentimes we're talking about the mid-range throws. I think he dropped this,
He
but
did.
he hit the guy right in the hands. Main thing is in the back end, they ran a twist and we pick it up flawlessly, passing off guys. That's how you do it with the
Go ahead and right in the face. You
offensive
can't
line.
ask for a better. That's a tight spiral, right on the money. Beat him up, ball.
Yep. So, come on, Kendrick. All right. Okay. So check out this pool. Watch 45 again. No. I'm going the other
Those
way.
false reads, man.
Going the other
Oh my
way.
god! See, I hate this. I hate this as a defense coach because what do you tell your guys to do? It's like, okay, you got fast flow, you got this dude here, he's pulling. Everything is telling you to go this way. Center's coming back this way, and then he just stops and goes back. Man,
and it looks like the center's supposed to block down, but he's actually a puller. That's why there's so many smoke and mirrors here because the center gets out of the way and wraps all the way around against the guy, and that's just ain't fair. So I don't know, man. These are hard things to do. We're coaches too. When you see a lot of this stuff, you're like, "Good Lord, man, this guy got so much stuff that you got to practice for and think about, and not give your guys overkill because there's so many what ifs." And you show this play to your guys, they're going to start saying, "Well, what if he turns around and goes back and you can't?"
yeah, because then a lot of time you're like, man, that's a dumb question. Nobody's ever going to do that. And then they're like, psych.
Yeah, one time, and you got Ryan Williams coming around. It's genius, man. Love it, love it, love it, love it. And you get a little bump by the quarterback. Okay, that wrap them up for the LSU stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I think it just shows JT we're on the right mark. If we keep having this trajectory, by the time you get to the playoffs, who knows what
this is what you want your offense and defense to look like. There was a lot of good things going on. It felt like not just the score, but like this felt kind of like the Wisconsin game back when we did that review of, oh look, we got another spam guy in here.
Uh-oh.
I think the bot caught him this time.
That bot got him?
Hope so. But anyway, I was saying that's it felt like that Wisconsin game where I was saying, look, they're just actually scheming guys up right now. Is not just talent. The play calling and play design is really what's killing them. and it was good to see that in this moment this week.
I guess a very good football team. All right. Well, y'all got to give us 90 seconds to uh, take a quick glass of water to the head real fast, and we're going to come back and talk about Mercer. 90 seconds. We'll be right back. Hey everybody, George Teague here, formerly of the Alabama Crimson Tide and the Dallas Cowboys. So let me ask you a question. Are you an athlete or a coach looking to boost your online visibility? Well, you've got to check out On3. Their personalized web pages amplify the total you on and off the field. Whether you want to grow your visibility, build your brand, or simply show the world who you truly are, On3 is here for you. They showcase the complete person, celebrating your passions, perseverance, and the pursuit of excellence beyond sports. These web pages are the ultimate digital hub to elevate your brand and highlight your journey. So head on over to www.on3.io/microsites and get started with On3 today.
And we've got to do one more shout out for Tide in Texas, which is the North Texas chapter of the University of Alabama National Alumni Association. The mission of the chapter is to promote the university to prospective students in North Texas and raise money for 10 endowed scholarships. The mission is accomplished through social, educational, and philanthropic events. The next event is the annual Christmas party on Friday, December 6th at the Tower Club in downtown Dallas. You can purchase your tickets at www.tidintexas.com and enjoy an open bar, appetizers, music, and breathtaking views of downtown Dallas from the 48th floor of Thanksgiving Tower. If you happened to be at Blackfriar while I was there and John was there, you may have gotten a flyer that John typed up that said $75 drinks, comma, and some other stuff. The drinks are not $75. He left off the word includes. There's a lot of things included in that $75, including an open bar for the entirety of the night. So hopefully that'll clear up some confusion on some of those flyers that you may have seen.
You know, the problem is some people they're going to get their $75 worth of alcohol. But hey man, come out and support Tide in Texas. That'd be great. They do such great work getting people to university. Thank you to Blackfriar again for all that you do. And I hate I missed it with JT and the gang down there, but sound like there was good eats, good drink, and good fun, like always. Before we go on to this next piece, I do want to give everybody a heads up. Mark your calendars for next Wednesday here on Teague's Take. Kel Gundy. Kel Gundy, you know who that is? He played for the Sooners 1990 to 93 as a quarterback, but he was the coach for the Oklahoma Sooners 1999 to 2022. He was a recruiting coordinator. He was a running backs coach, wide receivers coach, offensive coordinator, assistant head coach. This dude is going to be on our show, and he's going to be brought to you by Blackfriar Pub. He coached guys or recruited guys like Baker Mayfield, Joe Mixon. Y'all don't watch him. The Cowboys probably going to get run all over him here this weekend because of him. DeMarco
Two
Murray.
weekends. 2 weekends. They got Giants first.
Who?
The Cowboys.
We do? I thought we played Houston on.
Oh, Houston. Yeah. Whatever. Yeah. They got Houston first and then the Bengals.
Well, Joe Mixon is with Houston now.
Oh, right.
That's right. So they got to face him. Anyway, he had DeMarco Murray. He coached Adrian Peterson, Hollywood Brown. Of course, he had C.D. Lamb, Sterling Shepard. Anyway, this guy's the man. He's going to be on Teague's Take, breaking down some film with us. We'll have for about 45 minutes. And so you need to mark yourself, go ahead and hit that bell so you know what's coming up and you don't forget about this. We'll promote it heavily, but he's going to be on the show. Okay. All right. So, Mercer, JT, why are you pulling up the film? Let me talk about him from my standpoint. Then you can get talking points as we're going through. First, can I make a small comment here? This might make you mad just because of this picture that I'm looking at right here. Um, Sometimes, we're looking at this film, and I think JT and I both had a comment like, "Man, I don't know if we want to show this film to everybody." But then JT, I had to say this in this no knock on anybody particular because I know your school is the same way. But when you see a football stadium in college that still has the track around it, you kind of thinking like, okay, what does that mean, and how big is this school? That we can't put the track over in his own complex or something of that nature. So uh, I made some little funnies in here with some arrows and different things about it. But what you need to know about Mercer, I think their offense. There's a couple key guys on here. Some of them are really good at pass blocking. Some of them aren't. Some of them are good at run block. Some of them aren't. You kind of got a little bit of both. The quarterback is a true freshman with Neubauer. He looks to be very cerebral to me. He looks like he knows how to get rid of the ball fast. Um, but I want you to watch and see. It looks like I didn't have that many plays in here, but he throws low balls, JT. I think they're going to be batted down. Um, so let's talk about their offense right now. I think that they're not very good at accepting twists. So they are in the white when you're looking at this. First, I wanted you to see the guys on the track. If you look at my arrow back there, you got the servicemen back there watching the game, playing against VMI. So you got the military guys. So I thought that was kind of cool. You get some front row seats back there. I wonder if they had to pay for them or not.
Well, considering what the score was at the end of the game, they didn't get to use that at all.
Wait till you see later. I think their favorite runs are outside zone encounters. Maybe Joe T saw something a little different. I say favorite runs, but all right. So I pointed to this guy here. Their left guard, better pass blocker than run blocker. Check him out. This is a
No.
linebacker just hip tossing this dude. you
Yeah,
know,
that's not.
I don't know how that's going to work with our guys. I mean,
That's that's not funny. I'm sorry.
I know we're not here to make fun of the guys. We're trying to give you the coaching points because you can't underestimate anybody, right? That's why you play the game.
I've just never seen that before.
Just so hey, we're here just to let you see what's going on. Quarterback is like I said, he throws the ball low, in the pocket, out of the pocket. I'm going to predict 4 to 5 batted balls. He's not a very good runner. Okay, I think what I say. He's out, put the ball out kind of quick. It's the left guard again.
Hmm.
But look at the guy at the track. I just feel like, at the military school, it's like, is this a sniper back here? What do we got going on back here? You go take out some news with the camera. So the guy ducks his head. Again, we're not here to embarrass anybody, but the running back doesn't block anybody. So I don't know if we're going to blitz, if we're going to just play base defense.
I mean, right now doesn't seem like you have to.
No, you probably can win some one-on-one matchups. I mean, if we're just stronger and faster. Now, their center is really good. I'm talking about one guy, but the center seems to be playing very well. What did my talking points say?
Nice smoke and mirrors.
Oh yeah, they ran a lot of stuff in here, but this is just a couple plays later, and you got two different people back here with cameras and stuff. So I'm just I was stuck on the people on the track. I had a little bit of JT's ADD stuff that he has when cameraman's running all over the place. Just
Oh, you want to talk about cameramen running all over the place? Hold on, now I gotta go back and do this tangent. Um,
what
I can't believe you didn't.
on one of the touchdowns?
Yeah, it was this one here because I was looking and I was like, hey, at like when during this sequence does the guy show up to get the close up?
He ain't come from way over there.
Pretty early. He's here. He's here.
Oh, okay.
He showed up already.
Oh yeah, he getting it.
So I was trying to figure out like at
When
what
do you
point, like
know?
when he was, because he's standing in the end zone, right?
You think
So
somebody in his ear? Go 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 go.
I wonder if he just he gets to about right here and he's like, yeah, this
Oh,
dude's
he
about to
gone.
score. Let me start, because I need to start paying attention to when anybody has what looks like a breakaway and they get caught before they get in the end zone. I want to know if the cameraman
The cameraman goes back and be
is
like,
already
"Oh
is
man,
already there. All right, but anyway,
yeah." Okay, so there's a lot of smoke and mirrors on that thing. Just people going all over the place. I thought it's good design. I mean, you have to be sound. You got to know what's going on because they're running stretch. You got a motion guy. I mean, you got a lot of stuff going on. The
yeah,
guys
well, they
coming
got the
around,
cameraman.
So it makes a good run. Now they're not as fast as they need to be. I think our overall team speed is pretty good, but that's a well designed play. We got to be sound. You just can't be guessing, uh, or you potentially could give up a big play like this, even though we may catch them. Okay.
Yeah, he said wide receiver finds a place to sit. So we're looking down here, sitting in this big old patch of grass, not covering himself up.
Yeah, linebackers are heavy on the run. Again, it's just playing sound football. If you think, what's the question down there? I would say worried about these guys.
These Mercer dudes falling on legs.
Well, uh, I would say that I think they've been pretty sound for them when you start watching most of the game. I mean, it could happen, but
Well, I mean, it's
I
usually
guess try to
if you
stand up.
if you're playing with good technique, you're shooting your hands and getting separation. You regardless, you usually don't have that problem. It's when you're leaning on people and you're not moving your feet. That's when you get rolled up on.
Yep. So look at the pass again, JT. Um, just from that back end again, it's just
Oh, I
it's
see. Yeah, real
it's
low.
low. All of his stuff is not up front. He throws a lot of low balls. I think they're teaching them to get their hands up, doing a lot of slide protection. They say if you see him get ready to throw, get your hands up because you're bound to get a tip ball. Okay. I don't know if I had a talking point on there or not.
You do. It's here. I think your talking point is about these dudes.
Oh, I could have been talking about them too because I don't think they were paying attention.
Yeah, because the quarterback's gonna get out and run here.
Yeah, they're not. I don't know what they're doing back there. They're just they're not even facing the field. You can't be down there just hanging out in the deep, man. You're watching the game. So anyway, uh,
So this was supposed to be a tight end throwback, but they actually covered this up pretty good. Staying at
yeah.
home.
So how many trick plays do we see? Because
All of
if
them.
you're overmatched,
All
you
of them.
gotta try to do something to
All
give
of
you.
them. You're gonna get that reverse. You're gonna get that tight end. That tight end throwback. Well, this is certainly not gonna happen. Um, we're gonna get hands on these dudes. We're not just gonna let them do this. This is unacceptable. I need to put that sound on here. Unacceptable. We're just not gonna touch anybody, nobody at all.
Now, your safety got to cover both these guys because he's thinking they're both going deep, and you can't allow that to happen. So, I mean,
That
that's
dude,
just
this dude is not a safety.
now it's two.
He is two biscuits away from a D tackle.
And maybe you can talk about this in another episode of what happens when you send 5, because I think they sent 5 on this, and you play cover 2 behind it. Let me make sure. 3. Yeah, it's the corner blitz or something from the top too.
Yeah.
So, it's always what do you do behind pressure, if you want to call it pressure with
Yeah.
5.
Yeah, I prefer if you're gonna send extra guys and you're gonna play zone behind it, I prefer 3 deep, 2 under, not two deep, 3 under.
Yeah,
Because of
this.
this.
Because of this, you can't get your hands on anybody, and the guys run down the field. It's too easy.
Yeah, but for real though, I mean, look at this dude. That dude. If you showed me a picture of this guy and showed me a picture of this guy and asked me which one of these played safety, I would never in a million years would I have picked him.
Well, me either, because they both look like linebackers. But,
All right.
or
Well, let's get to the defense.
all right.
Okay.
I just put 4-man front light box starting out early. They don't do this the whole time. But the defense, I think you got multiple fronts. Sometimes they got 4-3 look, 4-1 look, 4-2 look. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what I watched, I didn't get through the whole defensive clip, but I think I got through 42-ish plays. I think there's 60 something. So I got through most of it. Mercer likes to run man. A lot of man. At least based on this game. Maybe they'll do something different against Alabama. I don't know. We only got one game and it's against VMI. So always got to take it with a grain of salt. But they ran a lot of man in this game. And they weren't particularly trying to hide it either. I mean, you can kind of just look right here and be like,
oh, you gotta know. Yes.
Yeah, it's man. The other thing that I noticed is, especially when you start putting a wing or a sniffer back here, that's when you really start to see some tendencies and how you can exploit them other than just talent. So what you'll notice, what I think is actually kind of going on here, these 3 have man and he's probably got the back like this. But then once they motion, now we're locked here and that guy is free. So you can start moving guys around and you can automatically know who has your run support.
I'm shaking my head because there's no way they can do this against us. But I don't know.
Well, and the reason I put plays on here again was more to just like drive home the story and give all the examples rather than like big plays and things like that. So this is, I put another empty play on here. But yeah, so this is what we were talking about kind of pre-show of like an empty check where it looks like they're just going to play man straight across. And it's kind of what we just saw from Alabama, right? Except it's not empty. They were it was a 2x2 set and they had a back in the backfield. But this here is just kind of showing your hand. You're gonna get man, and there's probably gonna be somebody drop out of this. The thing that you have to be cognizant of if you're a quarterback is who that is and where he's going. And on this play, it's this guy that's gonna drop out. And
there's the other guy that drops out and almost got an interception.
Right. And he actually, to me, drops the wrong direction. Like, I understand why he's dropping this way. Because, like, if you just draw it on a board, you want him to get to the middle of the field, but the threat is right here. So
yeah, he should go straight back.
He's going the wrong direction. And they just, again, this is VMI. So, like, why we're stepping out instead of taking care of the guy inside, beyond me. I don't know. Don't get it. But yeah, don't do that.
Oh, yeah. So we got to be alert for it. Oh, I just thought this was a good play for this guy out open field. This is a hard thing to make. Um,
Oh,
Makes an
well,
open field tackle out in the flat. But
well, I want to add to this then too, because what I was talking about with this wing is when they have the wing, I don't think that the rules of their defense dictate that the safety takes him. I think it's the linebacker or the overhang. In this case, I don't know if he's a nickel or not. I didn't personnel him, but this guy becomes the free guy because I think whoever's responsible for the wing is going to be underneath somewhere. It's not going to be a safety. So if you know that, you know where your help is going to trigger from quickly. And like you said, that guy, he kind of has no real responsibility in the pass right away. And yes, we definitely would not block that guy. We would just expect to run past him.
yeah, we'd run past him, so we'd have another blocker that you can't. It shouldn't run free like this. But that's why I just think we got so many. So we did answer that one question on what we do with empty. What did this say?
7-man box this time.
Oh, 7-man box. I don't know. Again, I guess it just depends on what they want to do. We still ran the ball against them on the 7-man box right here, but
Yeah, so this
we just
guy, I'm going to end up pointing him out a little bit later. I don't know what number he is right now, but this is the second play that I'd say that he doesn't have very good eyes. Because again, like, it is clear. It's very clear as you watch this. When you have a wing out here, this guy is not going to cover him. And if he's on this side, that guy is not going to cover him. It's going to be one of these dudes in here. So that said, his eyes immediately snap to double this guy, but he never even looks at the quarterback. And this is going to be a problem. You'll see it later because this is run all the way. And he gets in there, but he gets in there 11 yards down the field.
Yeah, that's way down the field. I think we got too many options. How about our film here with the antenna right in front of the camera? Yeah, this is unbalanced. The corner, so I was putting, hey, you still got that short edge. It's just like what we just saw.
Yeah, they're not going to be able to do this.
Because if they run the same play and you run the running back around the edge and Jalen.
And they're not fat. They're not that fast.
I mean, they got to be looking at their field like, we can't do this. But I don't know. I don't know what to say.
You can run the same QB run from last week.
Oh, yeah, this is the back end. So, I don't know.
Oh, I didn't save the order. That's okay. That's why I wrote notes.
All right, so I just wanted you to see this guy on the left. One of them gets up the field pretty good, and these linebackers, I think they're one of the linebackers is running out of there on the left. It's just like he just doesn't want a whole lot of that contact right there. He probably needs to be taking that guy on a little bit better. The other linebacker kind of.
The other linebacker's not going. Like
he
it's all fast flow. He needs to be right there.
Yeah, he doesn't go. So, I mean, then our guy's going to come through there, and he faster than this guy and more physical.
Yeah, he's going to try to run through too. Okay, so this is another empty right here. The difference now is last time this guy dropped out, but now he's going to go, and the guy inside of him is going to drop out. And it's, not anything dramatic, but if you got a hitch here and look at the direction he's going now, now he's in the way. Yep. And if you're too quick on this, or if you're a tad late and things like this could turn into an interception. Right?
They got a few guys dropping. Just got to be smart with the ball. And I don't know if they got some tendencies that we hadn't seen.
Right. Well,
Could
yeah. I mean, they're dropping both times they dropped. They bailed out on this
on the
side.
left. Yep.
So, if I'm watching film here, I'm thinking, hey, if we go empty and you get this, you probably need to look to your left.
It'll probably be in the first 15.
Yeah, just to go ahead and write your script and
Let's
see.
what it is. Let's see what they're going to do. If we want to come back to it, if it's going to be confusing.
Okay, so here, this is what I'm talking about. He's unlocked. There's only one receiver over here, and we already know we're going to get man right here. So he has his choice to help. Like, he can help. He's got run support, things like this, but his eyes are absolutely awful. The same dude. Eyes are bad. What do I mean? Let's peek into the backfield, kind of just look at what's going on in here. And what you're seeing right now is run all the way. And I'm not saying he needs to trigger right now. What I am saying is he probably needs to slow down just a little bit and actually like read the play. Except as we go on, now it's pass. It's a throwback. At this moment right now, he needs to say, I got to go get this dude.
Yep.
Except for he doesn't. He leaves. He leaves to go over this fade route.
Discovered.
And then don't want no part of this tackle. So it's like, look, if you're gonna pick on somebody, like this is what you do. You put the wing on the other side, and you tell this safety in particular, make a play.
I feel like this again. You could be trying some stuff too. Just put some stuff on film, the board, just to make Auburn start working on some stuff that we ain't gonna run.
I don't remember why I put this one in here.
They're pretty big up front. Just so you know, they're not quite as tall. I don't either, but they have some athletic ability. We can't forget they're 9-1. We were talking about this before. They're ranked 9th in FCS football, so they're a good football team. What did I say?
So this is another one. This is the coverage. Okay, so I did like this from Mercer because it's like as soon as you start getting comfortable, again, you're thinking, man, maybe double over here. That guy and this guy's unlocked. This is what we've been talking about the whole time. Then they hit you with the psych, we're playing zone. That dude's not looking. He's not actually reading what he needs to read. Turns around and rips it right to this guy who's playing underneath.
Thank you. Can't guess what JT said. You got to be sound and solid every time. You may have some serious tendencies, but they can switch it up.
So here's VMI doing something that I think they should do, but then I think they totally botched it. Okay, so they give you the 2x2 look. Again, we're talking about the sniffer and their rules. So he walks in now. So now what happens? This guy is not going to cover him anymore. They're going to give this to the backer. So this guy is free, unlocked, and is ready to help and run support. So what you shouldn't do then is run the ball to the unblocked guy.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Now, they don't on this play, but they do later on. But I really put this play on here because if this is... That's Ryan Williams right there.
Oh. We need that sound. We got a
meep.
car sound there.
And keep in mind, these guys' eyes are not, they're not the best. Not the best. So
Dude,
he
I
doesn't get
don't.
the ball out. He ends up getting tackled, but
This could be bad. Hope the weather's good. They can let some fly and let these boys get out.
so here this is again. Again, just hammering this point. That guy and this guy are not related. These two are. So maybe don't run it to
That
the
way.
wing. Cause and how you can tell is like this guy leaves and he's not going with him. There's nothing doing in here for him. So all you're doing is getting that extra guy in the box to help make that tackle. And I think our coaches are smart enough to figure that out. And maybe they definitely have more games than we do, right? They're going to have all of the games. So maybe they don't do that all week, but based on what we got, again, it's these four are going to be responsible over here. He's going to sit and wait and try to fit somewhere. But here you go. Here's another one. We talked about this with LSU and A&M. This is a double push. Back leaves. There's four receivers over here. Probably where you want to go.
Yeah. I don't know. It's gonna be fun to watch. It'll be good to see how we handle these and
And this is the last one here. I think
I didn't trade.
he gave a mix call. Looks like if that's the same signals as what we used. Mix, which means now I actually am gonna take this dude. He's mine, but now he's free because you just got a nub tight end over here.
There's no way.
But
They can't run up.
he doesn't go with him. So you're leaving the safeties to
JT, there's no way they can do this. They just gotta go. So I mean, surely they can't be going like hyping them guys up, saying they can just run with us and cover. Who's gonna cover Ryan Williams?
well, no, I mean, even if you're not going to run deep, like these guys are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 yards off. Like,
I mean, we'll run bubbles out
yeah,
there just to
bubbles
make
all
a miss.
day, smokes. They might not even bubble. They might just have this dude turn around, and just throw it to him, and say, "Hey, number 4, come tackle me," because I didn't seen you on film running away from people. Put Kendrick Law right here and just say, "Hey, just go run that dude over, make him quit."
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I know what we think we're going to see, and I think we're all on point. But I think when you're defensive coach, you got to put your guys in the best position to win too. And if you're not realistic enough to say, "Hey, we can't make them look like that on television," you know, not too early, too fast. So our challenge has to be to start fast and be effective early and don't play down and go ahead and try to step on their throats early. You know, put up as many points as you can first quarter, second quarter, and have this thing kind of out of hand by the time you get to halftime and let your guys play into the third quarter and then get them out. But again, you can't overlook anybody, but hopefully there's enough leadership for guys to say, okay, let's just take care of business and get out of here and let's not make this any closer or any embarrassing in the first quarter because you're making mistakes, dropping the ball, fumbling, getting penalties, all this kind of stuff. Don't regress after the way you played against LSU. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I got. All right. All right. You got any last words for everybody?
No, I do not.
All right, man. Well, listen. Hey, thank y'all for hanging in. He said 62-3. Okay. Uh, uh, I'm pretty sure that they're not going to want to give up any touchdowns. If you do, it's going to be something weird and crazy, like what happened in your game, JT, when you got somebody fumble the ball and it
Forward.
bounces to someone else.
It didn't even bounce. Like,
Yeah, something like that go down. That's
yeah, how
probably the only way.
you're chasing a guy down and you punch the ball out in front of him, and there's just some dude that's not blocking anybody 15 yards in front of him. Like, what is that?
Yep. Yep. Goes for now. So, yeah, let's just root these guys on, and we'll have a good one. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. We know we spent a lot of time on the LSU stuff, but we love doing this. Again, don't forget that we're going to have Kel Gundy on next week. Set your reminder. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell. Right. Thank you to everyone over on Bama Standard as well, man. We love it. We appreciate you guys. Like always, thank you, Blackfriar. Thank you, Tide in Texas. Thank you, Arm 3. We'll be back 8:15 next week. Christmas time. I'm George Teague. He's James Teague.